Greetings, YouTube. January 11th might seem like a random day to most people, but not in this community. Not in this game. So many of you have circled today as the day on your calendar, and you've circled it for well over a month. Some of you have been circling it for 3 months, ever since you discovered Null. Because today, officially, is the new 6-star featured hero crystal. And we grade these things every time they come out. And I would say this is the most controversial grade that I do between the 5 and 6-star featured crystals because nobody agrees. Nobody agrees. But what I like to do is also now, because this used to be a much better crystal because they'd put proven God tier and beyond God tier champions in it. But now it's more of a leak of who Kabam plans to buff because so many of the non-featured pool champions end up being the buffed champions in the next several months. And we know that this crystal is going to be around for 98 days. And you can see Kitty Pryde, Nimrod, Anti-Venom, Null, Cersei, Icarus. It's a loaded crystal. But the question is, who has joined them in the crystal? Alright, for the sake of this video, as in every grading video, we're just going to put them in 3 categories. Okay with landing on them, because it's a 15,000 or 13,000 6-star shard price. Ecstatic, and trash. And the trash usually goes up depending on the buff. Alright, here we go. Kitty Pryde, Nimrod, Anti-Venom, Null, Cersei, Icarus, they're the featured champions. 6-star Hyperion and 6-star Ghost Rider are in this. Several of you called that. You said, we wish that Hyperion had been the last one, but we think he will be cycled through next. And you were right. That is beyond exciting news. Ghost Rider maybe could use a little bit of a buff, but I still love Ghost Rider, especially when I pair him with Blade and Stark Spidey. So the first 2 champions in this are straight bangers, and Dr. Voodoo is as well. Now, could Dr. Voodoo get a little bit of a tweak? Could he get a little bit of a refresh? Who knows? But as is, 6-star Voodoo is still really exciting to be in this. And yes, he needs to be awakened, but love it. Abomination, not the immortal kind, right? I think Immortal Abomination is still objectively head and shoulders above the rest. Now, would you be excited to get him? I think he'd be okay. He'd be in that middle tier. I wouldn't be upset, but I would be disappointed. You know what I'm saying? Cable is a straight banger. I don't expect him to get a tweak, but if he did, great. Because of the especially Apocalypse synergy that allows you to get that double heavy degen damage. I just love parry heavying like 4 or 5 times and just letting them melt. With Cable, it's a guarantee as long as you're not fighting like robots. Cable is exciting. So far, this crystal is amazing. Black Widow Clairvoyance in this. What? This is looking like the start of the best featured 6-star ever. She also doesn't need a tweak, but if you're going to give it to us, why not? One of the best champions in the game. Yes, she's a little bit older now, but still proven to be beyond God tier. Amazing. Doc Ock was one of the 2 best champions in the original 6-star basic pool along with Angela back in the day several years ago. Very, very solid champ, almost underrated for power control, especially if you know how to use him, and some of you know how to use him way better than I do. You love him. I would be excited to get a 6-star Doc Ock, though I'll probably put him in the upper middle of that tier where I'm not like celebrating like I won the Super Bowl, but I'm also not sad. Okay, Dragon Man, another really great, solid champion like Doc Ock. I'd give both those champions like B+, even in certain matchups, A- potential. Definitely not a bad champion to land on. Emma Frost, Katie Candy's Bay is next. She's another champion that doesn't need to be awakened and can do massive, crazy damage. Shout out to my Battle Realm bestie for her Emma love. There is not a bad champion in this. You might say Abomination's the worst, but I don't think he's bad, especially with his tweak, his buff. Hawkeye, we know he's been newly buffed. Some of you argued, and we'll be posting that video soon on the channel this afternoon, that he belonged in the top 10 of the skill class. I still think that's yet to be determined. He's an honorable mention at this point, but worth landing on for sure. Hit Monkey, he was number 5 in our rankings, spoiler alert, of the top 5 to top 10 skill champs in the game. Must have. I want a 6-star Hit Monkey so bad. I've never been more tempted to go for a 6-star featured crystal. If I didn't have Black Widow Clairvoyant already, especially Awakened, I would be like freaking out even more. Old Balls Logan. Now, he did get a buff. In fact, he got a whole rework. But I still think he's just alright. You know, he's alright. He's not Red Mags. Not that everybody should be, or Omega or anything. But, okay, so he's probably like the second champion in this that I'm like, Old Man Logan, okay, whatever. Punisher 2099, same way. Squirrel Girl, fantastic. Squirrel Girl is another excitable 6-star that I really want to have. Taskmaster, some of you love him. I'm going to put him in that middle tier of, alright, land on him alright. Vision, Age of Ultron. Now, I've been told, a few of you love him to death. I still think he's the worst of the 2 Visions, and given the champs you could put 6 stones into and Awaken, he's at the middle to bottom of my tech list. I would not be happy to get him. I think for the average summoner that isn't going to use him and isn't going to invest 6 stones into him, he's the worst champion so far in this. He's the trash champion. But there's so very few so far. Wasp, wonderful for Ghost. Could Wasp get a little bit of a tune-up? Who knows? We'll see. And Yellow Jacket already did. Now, Yellow Jacket's one of those champions that I know theoretically he's been buffed, but I just don't think about it. I don't like fighting him, but I also don't love fighting with him. If you give me a choice between Yellow Jacket or, say, Spider-Ham, it's a joke. Spider-Ham is Yellow Jacket without needing to fire off specials to get that utility. So, look, I have been accused of being too critical on these, especially because the grade can change depending on who gets tweaked. And who knows, some of these champions, we never thought Nebula would get any kind of tune-up, and yet she did, right? We never thought Massacre would, and yet he did. We never thought Human Torch would. So is it out of the realm of possibility to think that some of these B+, A- champions could still get even better? I don't think so. Maybe they could even improve upon Dragon Man, or Emma, or Doc Ock, or Cable, or Abomination again. I don't know. What I do know is that anyone that wants to go for this, you should be very excited to go for this. I'm not going to quite give it the A+ grade just yet, but I'm going to give it a solid A, like a 95% out of 100. This could be the best featured 6-star crystal ever, and anyone that goes for it has a good chance to either get a new featured champion, including my favorite champion of all of this past year, of Null, and some of you's favorite, Kitty Pryde, if not Null. And I can awaken my Kitty Pryde. But also, so many, kudos to Kabam for putting proven champions. We haven't seen a Black Widow Clairvoyant or an Emma, that kind of thing, come back to the pool in 6 months. But they brought him back here. They listened to the community. Give Kabam the credit when credit's due. Give him the flowers, as the kids would say, when it's appropriate. And this time it's absolutely appropriate. 95 out of 100. A grade from your old friend Prof Hoff. Highest grade I've given a 6-star featured crystal maybe ever. And that means go for it when you can. And good luck if you do.